Alright, so I decided to do some commentary on this video because, as you can see from the little reference picture I have, there will be lots of glowing things, and I have a lot of questions about how I do the glowy things, and I like how this came out in general, so yes. Commentary. Yay. Alright. Let's play this. So, I do it a little bit differently actually. So I'm selecting like I normally do and dragging the curves to fit the outline as I normally do. But I don't actually do a gray layer this time. I will just take the color and put the color into the selection instead of doing gray and then doing the color on top of the gray, because this guy's base color is just a Grullo. It's really simple, and I felt brave enough to just do color. So there's the base color, and now I'm going to darken the things that need to be darkened. And this is on 8 times normal speed, so this is pretty slow. And I'm going to do feathers right off the bat because I'm already on the layer that they're going to be on, since there is no gray layer this time. And I did not use a reference for this at all, not even the sketch. It took me a long time to sketch because of the kind of awkward angle. So the eyeball, I'm just going to delete the color out of the body layer and then draw behind it. And the hooves, I put them on the same layer as the eye, just to keep things simpler layer-wise. I'm trying not to use as many layers as I normally do. It's a struggle, but I'm trying. Okay, so basically I started shading and decided that, hey, I should probably, get the light source from all these glowing things before I start shading. That's probably a good idea. And I'm doing these on a new layer, and so these are just the outlines, obviously, of the gems, and then I will use the fuzzy select tool and select the outside of the gems, invert the selection, and then color on the inside. And that's what I've just done. There's some more glowy stuff. The dorsal stripe and edge of the ears glow also. And now we make things glow. Okay, so how I do this is I have, as you can see, a really faded fuzzy brush, and I'm just using my mouse for this. I just do one click on the gems and then kind of drag around the dorsal and the hooves, and then I lower the opacity of the layer so that it wasn't too bright. And that's all there is to how I do glowy stuff. It's just using a faded brush, paintbrush, and my mouse. Okay, so now I'm actually going to do highlights and shading. I will do a couple different rounds of highlights. This is just kind of like the base round, using a very light purple, violet, pink, whatever color. But I will go back towards the end, actually, and really focus on the lights coming from the actual glowing things themselves. And now the darks. And right now I'm shading as I normally do, with the lights and darks on separate layers, darks being on darken only mode, lights being on lighten only mode, but I will end up merging all the shading layers together and having all the shading on one layer on top of the body layer. A bit different. Again, trying to cut down on the number of layers I normally use. Okay, so feathers, it's just saw me do them. It's basically the hair on the legs, that's how I treat it. Okay, hair. I will flip this whole thing upside down soon. There we go. It was just at awkward angle to draw hair. Do all the strands. That original angle is just weird and uncomfortable, so flip it around. And these glowing ends are on their own layer. And at the end, it's not actually recorded because I did some extra work that I didn't record right before I finished the video, actually. I mess with the layers a bit, and I duplicate the base hair layer and also what I'm doing right now, the underneath hair layers, and I make them the same color as this purpley color, so that oh gosh, where did the video go? Okay, well, I'm missing video. Yeah. So, but it's the same process for the glowing parts. I basically just had I think I used my tablet in the airbrush, just a faded brush, and dragging it along the hair to give like the glowy effect. And I had forgotten about those there. But I put them in just then. I had to think about how I was going to do the highlights on the hair. So I figured just a simple one, really major highlighted area for the mane. And then now I'm just using black to kind of break up the spans of highlight, that band of highlight. Okay, here I am now merging all of the shading layers together, and I deleted the extra from the outside using the path I made at the beginning, and I realized I cut out all the feathers, so now I'm going back and including the feathers in the non-deleted parts. Crisis averted. So now the shading is on one layer, which I did not bother to rename. Always name your layers. It'll help you keep track of what's on what layer. Just more shading. Wasn't really happy with barrel, stomach, ribs, whatever that part is. And in this case, the black is actually a dark purple color. Okay, so the hooves, I have a layer on grain merge, and I'm using black and white and kind of outlining the edge of the hoof and doing some shading, even though it's glowing, just to give it some dimension and depth and make it look cool. Right, shading the eye in the same way, white and black on the same merge layer. Doing some more shading stuff. Making the hair of the feathers look more like hair, not like pasta. That near hind leg still bothers me. I couldn't figure out ways to make it look great. Okay, wings, yay, wings. Wings are fun. Glowing wings are even more fun. So these wings are fairly transparent. The edge of the feathers, the individual feathers, you can see pretty well, but then it fades into transparency. So I'm trying to get that effect. I don't do wings very often, but I had to go big for these. The wings are supposed to be big. He is this my character's breed is a Lisqar on HARPG and DeviantArt, in case you're wondering. Thank you, courtesy of Luna Mesa, for letting me design him and have him. His name is Velocitron, by the way. And I'm trying. I made the mistake of finishing the entire first wing before starting on the second one. I should have done like step 1 for the first wing, and then step 1 for the second wing, and then step 2 for the first wing, step 2 for the second wing, and I did not, so I'm trying to redeem myself. I don't think I quite redeemed myself. Doesn't quite work out. Oh well. And of course the wings also blow themselves, and I had made them too big and they didn't really fit, so just making them a bit smaller. And now I'm going through all my layers and auto cropping them, because this is quite a big canvas, even though it's mostly blank, just to fit the wings, and GIMP was kind of going slow on me. It was making me nervous, so the eye and the ears weren't glowy enough, so gotta fix that. Oh, now I'm adding black strands to the feathers for more dimension. And I'm still not happy with that far leg. Ignore that terrible selection job. Alright, so now I'm going to start focusing on, well, after this, focusing on the actual, like, really purple highlight effects from the glowing stuff. But right now I'm trying to disguise the, why does it look like I have 2 cursors? Anyway, disguise the edge of the neck with hair. I don't know what you call that hair. The hair that's at the edge of the neck, between the crest and the mane. Hair texture, one of my favorite things to do. Yay. I think I end up turning it white. It's purple right now, which is just not right. I think I end up with a white and a black hair texture layer. Yeah, so I'm moving, I think the dark one is offset from the white one a bit. And that kind of helps give a 3D dimension to the hair texture. And then I'm going around, and in the light parts I'm erasing the dark hair layer, and in the dark parts I'm erasing the light hair layer. But I think I put the light hair layer underneath the shading, so it doesn't really show through the darks anyway, but just in case. I must go through like 5 rounds of making, more glowing effects lighter. Oh yes, the gems look flat. They are not flat, so this is my feeble attempt to make them look 3D. Never tried to make gems look 3D in my life. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It's just same thing I did for the hooves. Grain merge layer, white and black. Oh yeah, ear getting some attention. Alright, so now I'm going around with purple on a new layer and really getting the effects from the gems, and that they reflect off of different parts of him and show up very purple. I hope it looks okay. I was just kind of winging it this whole time. Yes, I do a meager background. He's supposed to be in like a thunderstorm. I was gonna do lightning, but then that would like challenge. I didn't want to do like something glowing in the background when he was supposed to be glowing and just be fabulously glowing. Don't want too much going on in the background. Also, me, not an expert on clouds. I want to be able to do backgrounds, but that requires work, so... And then I figured some of the glowingness would reflect on the clouds, so why not? I'm just kind of smoothing down the roughness of it. Then I decide that the background's too bright, he needs to stand out more, making it darker. I'm trying to figure out what I should do to make it darker. And now so this layer is on overlay, and I'm adding medium gray to the layer to kind of get rid of some of the darkness right around where his glowing stuff is. I still have two cursors on the screen, this is weird. Anyway. I realized that I left out making the tail gems 3D, but I do end up adding that effect in before the end. Oh yes, more texture to the background because why not, right? Texture is always great. Alright, yeah, there we go. So, you can kind of see that the mane looks a bit different. I have added the 3D effect to the tail as well, and the tail gems. I went back on some shading and changed that, especially around the shoulder and that near hind leg, which I'm still not happy about. The far wing, I made some changes to the edge of the tip of the wings, feathers, and then also I did a bit of the grain merge highlights on the wings, like I did on the gems and hooves, just to try to make them look like they were glowing a bit more. They looked kind of flat to me before, so changed that. And also added some more darks because to the dark shading to the body because I didn't feel like there was enough going on. So yeah. Say hi to Velocitron. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Purple. Anyway, so hopefully this has been helpful. You enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video or live stream or whatever. I do have a DeviantArt account and a Facebook page, so you can go watch and or follow me, or do neither, that's cool too. But they are there if you want to go and do something.